What's up, everybody? Good evening. How's my TTG fam doing? How you guys all doing tonight? All right, guys. Who do we got? Who do we got with us today? Oh, yo, Wolf. You got people calling me Pizza Mike now. Guys, I got Jason Spatafor with me, the Wolf of Wheat Street, as always, joining me. Jason, say what's up.
What's up, everybody?
I got people calling me Pizza Mike on the live stream already, thanks to you.
You know what's funny? I probably eat pizza 3 times a week.
You eat pizza more than I do, but I'm Pizza Mike.
Pizza Mike.
What's up, guys? Everybody, what's going on? Who do we got here with us today? Let's see. My usual TTG fam. Glenny, what's up? TTG Max, Bobby, Lucy, Oscar, Trina, Nick, Jose, J Code, David, Wilson, Lou, Camden, Ruel, what's up? LQ, William, Danforth, Nick Lowry, Freddie, what's up? Sean Miller, my man, what's going on, Sean? Frank Sabara, always on the live stream. Smoke, Ron 258, what's up? Joshua Greer, my man in the house. Lynn Jacob, Kenneth, Ned, Farah, Jake B, Rick Gonzalez, Donald Shwoop. I love it. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Gary, Pete. Oh, the fam is in full effect tonight. Oh, the fam is in Highway 1. I see you, Highway 1. Chris, representing 305. What's up, Chris? Stay safe down there in the 305. Richie Scalia, what's up, brother? Jersey Devil, JD, what's going on? Maria, Rookie Trader. Big Bala never misses a live stream. Big Bala, I see you. Tony Williams. Abhishek, TTG member in the house. Glenn Wilson, Kenneth Dabrowski. Judy, I hope we're getting closer to that car ride. Judy Leone, I hope we're getting closer to that car ride. Judy and I made a bet. A couple weeks ago. Judy, how are we doing on that bet? Are we getting closer to me having to pay up on that bet? IB Mini officially TTG certified. Congratulations, iPad Mini. Yes, hell yeah, Judy. Yes. Beautiful. Awesome, guys. Begin Al Champ, TTG certified. Chris Bostis never misses a stream. What's up, Chris? Bobby V says, is it Monday morning yet? I know, Bobby, right? Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, once you become a trader, you hate weekends. Divine Maha, what's up? Oceana Trader, what's up, guys? What's up? Guys, real quick, who do we have here? Balanced Investing just got TTG certified. Congratulations. We have a few people here that just got TTG certified. Congratulations to those of you that just got certified. Hell of an accomplishment, a hell of an achievement. Yes, Jacob Nelson finally became a member of the family. Jacob Nelson, welcome to the team. Yes, always the underdog just joined the TTG crew a few days back. Always the underdog, welcome. Francis, TTG certified, congratulations. Yes, Lynn Jacob, almost there. Guys, real quick, who do we have here tonight? Oh, wow, iPad Mini, I'm super jealous. iPad Mini just got a virtual golf bay. He just got a top golf bay reserved. iPad Mini, enjoy your night. You earned it. TTG certified this weekend. You earned it. Guys, real quick, who do we have? Who do we have here joining us tonight that is not a TTG member and is brand new to the YouTube channel? If this is your very first time joining a live stream or finding the TTG YouTube channel, this is your very first time here with us, comment in chat. Let me know that you are brand new. I want to see how many first-time members, how many first-time viewers we have to the YouTube channel. How many first timers do we have here? If you're not a TTG member, but you're new to the YouTube channel, how many do we have here? Nice. Curtis, Jason, Phil, Stretch and Rack, Rustin Rose, David Prado, Kevin Welch, David Padilla, Dinesh Kumar, Chris Wagner, Shalonda Tynes. Yes. Pavel Magma, Kyle Lee, what's up? Sam B, Zaribi, Rick Gonzalez. Beautiful. Guys, welcome, 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 all of our new viewers. First-time viewers, I want to officially welcome you guys to the TTG YouTube channel. I speak for, I'm pretty sure, myself, the entire TTG family. We welcome you all with open arms. You guys are in for one hell of a treat. You're lucky as hell for finding this YouTube channel because I guarantee you guys are going to be addicted. I guarantee you end up watching 100 of my videos within the next week or two. So what you guys are going to want to absolutely make sure that you do right now is subscribe to the channel. You're going to want to hit that notification bell. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post on a daily basis. I am constantly posting free technical and mental lessons when it comes to day trading and swing trading, options and stocks. Okay, so you guys are going to want to make sure you subscribe to that channel. You are going to get a crash course on a professional trading education, the same education that I received working for a hedge fund in New York City with about $500 million under management. I won a Trader of the Year award in 2008, and I share on this YouTube channel bits and pieces of the TTG curriculum that will teach the everyday person how to become a consistently profitable trader by learning the same strategies, rules, technical and mental that I learned working for a hedge fund in New York City. So you guys are in for one hell of a treat. What we're going to be talking about on this live stream here today is what to expect this week, okay? What are we going to be looking at going forward? What's our stock market outlook? What is our day trading and our swing trading outlook? Where do the Wolf and I expect to make money this week? Where is our focus going to be? We have a very big week. This is a big week coming up. This is a major, major earnings week. This week and next week are going to be massive. You have some huge companies, A-list, S&P, Dow Jones companies reporting earnings this week, and this is what we're all kind of gearing up for. Okay, these are those Q2 earnings that everybody's looking to see. How bad were some of these companies hurt during the economic shutdown? Now the economy's opened back up. How many companies actually dare give guidance? You have a lot of companies that are not giving guidance. How many companies saw their cash positions really, really shrink? How many of them still have strong balance sheets after the Q2 economic shutdown? This is going to be an important week coming up. This is our first real major earnings week. Okay, so there's a lot to go over. There's a few companies that we have kind of highlighted. Futures right now are really quiet. Wolf, I mean, I haven't looked at the futures in a little while, but are they still quiet? Last I checked, we were up like 0.1% or something.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
Yeah, so futures are really quiet. I think that's normal coming into such a big earnings week. I think it's quite normal that we see not a lot of action. Okay, we didn't see action on Friday. We didn't really see action on Thursday. Very, very, very choppy action in the overall markets. And that's because everyone is waiting for these earnings announcements. And I'm not surprised to see very quiet action in the futures session. And I think we'll be quiet in the overnight session as well. And we'll probably open up tomorrow somewhere in that 0.1, 0.2% up or down. Really doesn't matter. But I think we just kind of open up right around where we were on Friday while we get into the until we start to get some earnings announcements tomorrow. And then I think you'll start to maybe see markets start to pick a little direction. So before this live stream, the Wolf and I were actually talking, and the Wolf said something that was really, really important and really, I can't really think of the word, but like a real conversation starter, honestly. And it's something that I want to because he and I were having this conversation, and I want to have this conversation with all of you. And the Wolf was saying that he thinks that the next 45 days are like the most important 45 days of stock market activity that we've had in a very long time. And that reminds me of something that we had talked about maybe two or three live streams ago that I did, where I was talking about how, the next couple months I think are going to be so crucial and so important to dictate where does the market go from here. Does the market go back to all-time highs? As crazy as that sounds, the NASDAQ already did it. But what about the S&P? What about the Dow? Okay, do they have a chance to get back to all-time highs before we see another pullback, given the state of the economy, given the unemployment rates, the jobless claims, the bankruptcies, the credit defaults? Like, do we really have a chance to do that? And the answer is, yeah, you're damn right. We absolutely do have a chance to do that because of all the federal stimulus. And there's a lot to really discuss. And I want to dive in a little bit, and I want to really take the lid off of the Wolf's comment, which is where he says, listen, I think the next 45 days are really important. And when he said that to me, I said, well, Jason, why? Let's peel that back a little bit and let's really dive into that conversation. And that's what I really want to talk to you guys about here today on this live stream. Okay. I also have an important announcement that I want to make. I'm doing something very special on Wednesday that you guys are going to want to make sure that you stay tuned into this live stream, because I have a special invitation for you guys to a little event that I'm doing on Wednesday, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. I'll give you some more detail about that. But what I'm going to do first is the same way that I start all of our live streams. I'm going to open things up to a blanket Q&A session, open floor. You guys have to have the mic for now. Okay, go ahead, fire away, ask me questions, ask the Wolf questions. We'll do that for about 15, 20 minutes or so, and then we'll start to dive into the stock market outlook. And like I said, I want to share with you guys a little announcement on something that I want to share with you guys coming up here for Wednesday. So go ahead, guys, fire away, ask us some questions, and we'll take it from there. I'll give some people some time to log on, join the stream, and then we'll go from there. Good question. J Code Fit said, Mike, what's your best advice for somebody coming off their worst week yet? Okay, some advice for coming off your worst week yet. My best advice to you, J Code, is this is kind of going to be a little bit of a longer answer, but you have to really unpack this one like piece by piece. And when you're coming off your worst week ever, the first thing that you have to do, if you haven't done so already, is to go back and review that week. Why was it your worst week yet? What were the mistakes that were made? Review all of your trades, figure out what you could have done differently, figure out what you did wrong. Learn from the trades. You should have already have done that. If you have not done that yet, make sure you go through it, go through the losing trades and see what you could have done differently, and try to see if there's a pattern in the losses. See if there was a mistake that you made multiple times. All right, you're going to want to kind of unpack those losses a little bit and see what went wrong. Maybe it was a similar setup. Maybe it was a similar time of day. Maybe it was a similar type of play, like a similar type of stock. Maybe it was a similar mistake. Maybe it was a position size mistake. Maybe it was not honoring stop loss mistake. Maybe it was, adding to your position prematurely. Was it averaging down? Like what? Maybe it was entering a position before getting certain confirmation. Was it you not recognizing the proper volume profile on a particular setup? Unpack those losses first, J Code, and see if there's a pattern that you can identify in the losing trades. That's the first thing that you need to do. That's my first piece of advice to you. If you have not done that already, I highly suggest you do that tonight before tomorrow. My next piece of advice to you is, if it was your worst week ever, the first thing that you want to do, my best advice to you is to make sure that you have a short memory and try your best. I know this is so much easier said than done, but this is very important, something that must be done. You have to forget about last week. After you unpack the losses, you go into some detail, you figure out what you did wrong, what you could have done better. After you go through all of that, you have to forget about it. You cannot sit down at your desk tomorrow. If you sit down at your desk tomorrow, pre-market, and the very first thing that pops into your mind is how much money you lost last week, shut down your computer, get up from your seat, walk away, and do not trade for the entire day and start the process over. And then on Tuesday, when you sit down at your desk, if the first thing you think about was how much money you lost last week, shut down your computer, get up, and walk away, because you cannot carry that loss into this week with you. Okay? Just because last week was your worst week ever does not mean, okay, that this week coming up can't be your best week ever. Every single day is a brand new day with brand new trade setups, brand new opportunity, and you need to treat it as such. If you pull last week's losses into this week with you, and you put the pressure on yourself to feel like you have to make back whatever the dollar amount is that you lost last week, if you put pressure on yourself to say, I've got to make all this back this week, or I got to make all that back today, tomorrow, you start increasing your position size because you feel like you have to make that money back, and you're putting that added pressure on yourself. If you do that, you will dig yourself a deeper hole. You have to be able to go into the trading week as a brand new week and forget about last week's loss. Okay? So that is my next piece of advice to you, is if you sit down at your desk tomorrow and the first thing you think about is those losses, you got to get up and you got to walk away. Okay? My next piece of advice to you is to make sure that you are not fixated on making that money back. You just want to be green. Okay? You just want to be green. That is your goal. Your goal tomorrow is not to make back all the money you lost. It's not to make back half the money you lost. It's just to be green. I don't care if you are green by $100. It is just your goal to be green. Get yourself back on track. Break that little streak of losing. Okay, and that will start to get your confidence back. It'll start to settle you again because you'll start to execute on good trades. Okay, do not put the pressure on yourself to feel like you have to make it all back in one shot. Treat it like a brand new day, brand new trade setup, brand new opportunities. Don't doubt yourself. J-Code, I know you're a good trader. Do not doubt yourself just because you had a bad week. I have bad weeks. The Wolf has bad weeks. I have bad days. The Wolf has bad days. I have bad trades. The Wolf has bad trades. Do not let that doubt make that cause self-doubt. Do not let that lose your confidence. Still trade with confidence. Trust in your analysis. And just keep pushing through. And like I said, treat it like it's a brand new day.
Yeah, let me add something.
Go ahead.
One, everything Mike said. Two, and this doesn't work for everybody, but this works for me. If I have a bad week and after my assessment, I look and I'm like, okay, a lot of that was just unforced errors on my part. Okay? Because look, we're all going to get into stocks and then we're going to get hit with like some kind of headline risk. Right? Like let's say you went long on NEO on Thursday. It was looking good. And then boom, next day Goldman Sachs downgrades it. That's out of your control. Call that a mulligan. If it was a situation where you were just swinging for the fence, revenge trading, assess yourself a penalty. And what I mean by that is, let's say you were playing with $5,000. Well, you know what? Play with $2,500. This is gonna just it's gonna check you. It's gonna, keep you disciplined and make you a little bit more patient. And to what Mike said, make one trade. All right? I don't care, and the dollar amount doesn't matter. And this is actually what I tell people to do. Buy one share of a stock. Doesn't matter. And just make a winning trade. The object isn't to make money on it. It's to remind yourself that you know how to fish. Okay? That you can go out there and hunt. That if somebody's got a gun to your head, you can make a good trade. Because as soon as you do that, it's going to be, the bad trades are going to be like water off a duck's back. And you're going to be able to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
This is, everybody goes through it. Like my last big loss was on some airline calls a couple months ago. You guys remember? And I just took it easy. And I didn't buy options. I traded stock the next 2 days. to remind myself that I can trade, that it doesn't matter. And then, you know what? Then I didn't care. Then I was just excited to get to that next day because I was like, all right, I'm mentally focused. I'm ready to go. And that's all you have to do. And that goes for everybody.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Jay. Well said. Guys, quickly, we have another question here from Manon. Says, hey, Michael and Wolf, can you explain on your strategy for stock picking for the day? What homework do you do the previous day or pre-market? Excellent question, and I'm going to answer that question with a few others. But I want each and every single one of you right now. There are the hundreds of people that are watching this live stream right now live. I want every single one of you right now to hit that like button. The Wolf and I are going to take a 2-minute break until every single person watching this live stream right now hits the like button. I will answer Manon's question as soon as each and every single one of you hit that like button. Show the Wolf and I how much you guys appreciate these live streams, going through these Q&As and all this information that we share. So I'm going to take a little break. I need a glass of water anyway. My throat's a little parched. Okay? I want every single one of you to hit the like button right now. And I'm not picking this back up until all of you hit the like button. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We need more. We need more. Come on. Keep coming. Keep coming. I know all of you haven't hit it yet. I can see the numbers. I know you all have not hit it yet. Almost there. You're echoing, Wolf.
Sorry, I went to go get a drink in my house.
Oh. Beautiful. See, Judy's the best. Judy's like, I always do it at the beginning. I love it. I love it. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. We have one ass hit the dislike button. What a jerk. What a jerk. Boo! Yeah.
You're gonna go red now.
Yeah, you're having a red day tomorrow, 100%. Good stuff, guys. Awesome. Okay. Good stuff.
So you want to go back to that question?
Yeah. So let's jump back to that question. Because it's a good one. Asking like, how do I go about picking the stocks that I trade? Alan Sharef just said, how come you guys don't trade Forex? Alan, I've never traded Forex. I've never traded Forex. It's just not something that I do. I don't do it. Trading Forex is completely different from trading stocks and options. That's completely different asset class and with different, different catalysts, there's so many things that are different. It's just not what I did. I traded at a hedge fund. That's where I learned. And it was an equities and options, long short equity option fund. We did not trade Forex. I never traded Forex ever in my life. But going back to that previous question that I wanted to answer, it's a really good question. It's a really, really good question about, my pre-market game plan, essentially, and how do I build my watch list? How do I pick the stocks that I'm going to be trading for that day? And I think this is important. A lot of people always ask me this because they always kind of feel like, when I'm doing my trade recaps for the day, we always seem to be trading, some of the stocks that are making some of the bigger moves on the day. And people always ask me like, well, Mike, how did you know to buy that stock? And it's not really rocket science, guys. I mean, it's my watch list, criteria, and my scanner is pretty basic. My scan criteria is just, I use a leading gap scanner in the morning, okay, which will tell me the stocks that are gapping up or gapping down the most. I use a 10 times average trading volume, and then I use a high of day scan. So a stock that is gapping up or down the most will be on my scanner. A stock that's trading 10 times average volume will be on my scanner. And a stock that is making a new high of the day will also be on my scanner. That's it. Nothing fancy. It's a very basic scan setup. I do set price requirements for a minimum of 75 cents. I don't trade like true penny stocks. It's very, very, very rare that I will ever trade a stock below like $1. But I'll trade everything all the way up to Tesla and Amazon. Okay, so I trade small caps, mid caps, large caps. I trade options. I trade ETFs. I trade everything, but I do not trade like 10, 20, 30, 40-cent stocks. So I have a minimum share price bid of 75 cents on my scanner. So if you have like a 20-cent stock that's gapping up 30% on the day, it's not going to pop up on my leading gap scan. If you have a 40-cent stock that's trading 10 times average volume, it's not going to be on my 10 times average volume scan because it has to be 75 cents or higher to be on my scan. The flip side to that, if some of you do not trade higher price stocks, like if maybe all you do is trade the lower price stocks, you can set a price maximum of like, let's say $10. If you've never traded a stock over $10 a share, you don't plan on it, you can set a max of $10 a share. And that way, if you have a $20, $30, $50, $100 stock that's gapping up, that's making a new high of the day, that's trading 10 times average volume, that will not pop up on your scan. So you can set those requirements in your scan. Okay. We also have that in the TTG, the screener that is available on our website. We have exactly that, where you can adjust your scanner to pick up certain, adjust your screener to pick up certain stocks within certain price points, within a certain percentage up or down, and within a specific volume amount. You can do that with the TTG screener that's available on the website for all members. So that's something that you guys can definitely do in your scan criteria. Now, when it comes to building my watch list, guys, this is important. This is a really great question. So you guys want to listen up. Maybe you want to take some notes or something, because I'm going to give you guys some quick input on exactly how I build my watch list and how I create my game plan. I'll walk you guys through it. When I sit down on my desk in the morning, I go through the leading gappers. Okay, what stocks are gapping up the most on the day? The next thing that I do is I take a look at the volume on the gap up. Okay, if a stock is gapping up, 30%, I want to know the volume. Is it stock that's traded 10,000 shares, or has it traded 5 million shares? Okay, is this something that is trading actively pre-market, or is it just a couple of random prints? Like every couple of minutes, there's a trade. I want to know that. Okay, of the stocks that are all gapping up the most, I immediately throw to the side the ones that are gapping up on very low volume. Okay, I throw those right out the window right away. Now I'm left with a bunch of stocks that are gapping up that are trading heavy volume. The next thing that I do then is say, okay, why are they gapping up? Why are they trading this volume? What's the reason for it? Is there a news catalyst? Is there a fundamental reason why the stock has just appreciated this much in just one day? Stock's gapping up 100% of the day, 50% of the day. Why? Did they just get a $50 million contract from the U.S. Army? Did they just get positive phase 2 trials for their breast cancer drug? Did they just get a buyout offer from Amazon? Like, what is the reason why this stock is gapping up? Now, the ones that have no catalyst, those immediately get pushed to the side. So now I'm left with stocks that are on my leading gap scanner, stocks that are trading very heavy volume, and that have a true fundamental catalyst that warrants a move that we are seeing. Then the next thing that I do is I go ahead and I'll take a look at the daily chart. Okay. The next thing I do is I go and I look at the daily chart. The first thing I do is I look back to the left and I identify support and resistance levels. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter if that support or resistance level is from last week, last month, last year, or over the last 5 years. Okay. I identify resistance and support levels over the last several years that are relevant to where the stock is trading at this current time. So if you have a $2 stock that's gapping up to 450, okay, I'm going to look back on the chart and say the 450 area, where is their support and resistance? Is there support at $4, $3.50, $3? Is there resistance at $5, $5.50, $6, $8? I identify all of these levels based on the daily chart. And then I'll also take a look at where's all my major moving averages. Where's my 50-day? Where's my 100-day? Where's my 200-day simple moving averages? I will compile all of that information very quickly. Okay, it takes me seconds to do that analysis. Literally takes me seconds. I've seen millions of charts in my career. I can look at a chart and within 10 seconds, I can give you the entire setup, breakdown, my entire game plan, and tell you exactly what setup that I see, what I think the stock's going to do. I can break that down for you guys in seconds. I will go through that, okay? And now of the stocks that I had just mentioned that are gapping up, that are trading heavy volume, that have a fundamental catalyst, that have a good setup on the daily chart. Okay. Now I've got my 4 steps. Now I've got a list of stocks that have that good setup on a daily chart. Then I start to develop my game plan. Okay. That's how I build my watch list. Now it's talking about how to build a game plan. Okay. I will have a watch list. Let's say there's maybe 8 stocks on my watch list. Let's say out of that criteria, what I just went through with you, gapping up, heavy volume, fundamental catalyst, good setup on the daily chart. After I go through all of that, let's say there's 8 stocks on my watch list. Okay. I will break my watch list up into 2, sometimes 3 different sections. My number 1 section, or my top tier section, will be no more than 3 stocks. I will put my absolute favorite 3 stocks of that entire list will be in my top tier. Okay, sometimes it's only 2 stocks. Okay, depends on what I really like that day. The 3 stocks I like the best are my top 3. That's my top tier. Then maybe the next 5 stocks will be my second tier, or my second basket of stocks on my watch list. Once the bell rings, I will only focus on the top 3. I don't care what the other 5 are doing. It's just a distraction. The 3 stocks that I like the most, those are the 3 I'm going to focus on off the bell. If my game plan does not come to fruition on any one of those 3, then I will start to look at my second basket of stocks and see if any of those stocks, if my game plan is coming to fruition. Because if any of that second basket of stocks, if any of those stocks, my game plan is coming to fruition, it then moves into central focus. Okay. This is how you can maintain focus during an active market session. Too many traders get overwhelmed by trying to follow 6, 7, 8, 10 different stocks throughout the course of the day, or at the same time. Like the bell rings, all these stocks are flying all over the place, and you're trying to look at 10 different things. You will miss opportunity in all 10 stocks if that's how many stocks you're focusing on. You have to be focused in order to identify opportunity and then strike when opportunity presents itself. If you are not focused and you're trying to trade 10 different things, or you're looking at 10 different stocks and you have 35 computer monitors and all these things are flashing in your face, it's sensory overload. You will get overwhelmed. You will miss opportunity. That's why it's important to focus, narrow your focus to, like I said, those top 3 stocks you like the best. Okay. And like I said, I will only focus on those 3 stocks for the first 10, 15 minutes of the day to see, is the stock doing what I thought it was going to do? If it is, then I'm just going to stay focused right there. If it's not, then I'll go on to my next batch. Okay. That's how I stay focused in the morning. Okay. Little piece of advice. I think, it works well for me. It works well for a lot of TGG members. Try it out if you are one of those traders that struggles with focus and becoming overwhelmed and not knowing what stocks really to put your attention towards. When it comes to my game plan, guys, I will develop a game plan for every stock on my watch list. Okay. Where I will say, okay, the stock's gapping up to 450. I think I see support at $4. You also have the 50-day moving average of $4. I'm going to look for that area to be support. And then I think we have room to push to 550, so on, so on. That's my game plan, right? So off the bell, I'm looking for the stock to pull in from 450 down to $4, hold support, and then continue higher. So what I will do is then look at that stock to open up at 450. That's my game plan. If it pulls into $4, hold support at $4, maybe the 38.2 Fibonacci levels there, maybe the trade line is also there, and then the stock starts to hold support, I'm going to look at that setup and say, the stock is following my game plan. It's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. That's a beautiful thing. That makes it very easy to pull the trigger. It is very important that you do the work pre-market to come up with this game plan, because this game plan is going to allow you to act quickly and decisively. There will be no second guessing. If I said to you guys, watch for the stock to open at 450, pull into $4 holds, and then goes back up to 550, whatever, and the stock opens at 450, slowly pulls into $4, you see $4 holds, it bounces off 4 to 425, it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. That gives you the confidence to pull the trigger. It also allows you to identify the opportunity quickly. A trader that's looking at that stock for the very first time on the day is not going to be able to conduct that analysis as quickly as you are, because you already conducted the analysis pre-market. So when the stock reaches $4 and you see the support level at $4 and it bounces off 4 to 425 within a matter of 45 seconds to 2 minutes, you're ready to pull the trigger once you see that support level identify itself. That will allow you to pull the trigger quickly and not miss opportunity. But if you're trying to look at 10 different stocks, you're going to miss those little signals. But someone like myself that's laser focused on that setup and the stock does what I thought it was going to do, I'm going to jump on that opportunity. I'm going to attack the stock and I'm going to capitalize on that price movement. And you're going to say, oh man, I missed my entry because you weren't focused. You were distracted with other things. Okay, so that's why it's important to be central focused there, laser focused when you guys are starting off the day. So I hope that answers your question. I hope this helps a lot of you conduct your pre-market game plan and to build your watch list and to stay focused during the day, especially off that opening bell. Things can get pretty volatile. There's a lot of stocks moving around very quickly. And that's how you guys can really narrow your focus and stop missing opportunity and know what stocks to focus on. So I just gave you guys some really good info, how to build your watch list and then how to develop your game plan. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's good. Different strokes for different folks. Mine's a little bit different. Like right now, I'm developing my game plan for tomorrow. And, look, Mike and I are very different traders, but at different parts of the day, we line right up, So, mine's a little bit of it's simplistic, right? I'm a minimalist, all right? Like Mike always says, I stock trades. So, like, what I'm doing right now is I'm watching futures, okay? I'm watching the ticks and on the Dow, QQQ, and SPY. I'm looking at the VIX. I'm looking at small caps. I'm looking for weakness. I'm looking for strength. And depending on which end of the coin we land on, that's going to tell me, okay, which sector am I going to target for the day? If small caps are looking weak in futures, well, then I know that I'm going to either be looking at IWM puts or, buying SRTY, which is an inverse to the Russell. If Dow is weak, SPY is weak, and tech is strong, then my feeling is, okay, I'm going to be looking at tech options. I'm going to look for a gap down, and then I'm going to look for them to start climbing, throughout the course of the day, because everybody rotates to that strength. We actually talked about this last week, and that's exactly what happened. So, Mike is using a scanner for some of these things. I'm already, and so are you, already looking and trading a lot of these stocks. If I look at the stocks that I traded in the last 2 weeks, I've traded only like 7 different stocks, but I've just stalked them back and forth. Make money up, make money down. And if you already, so if let's say tonight NASDAQ is looking strong, okay, then I'm going to be looking at some of my favorite tech stocks to play. Like, okay, is it exhausted? Does it have room to run? Is it overextended? Does it need to pull back? Does it need to cool down? And then in the morning, pre-market, I see where it lands. Are we gapping up? Are we gapping down? Are we pretty much flat? And then I could just make a move from there, because I've already done the homework. I've already looked. But I'm, like Mike says, the wrong move is just kind of like, I'm looking here, I'm looking there. I'm looking at 3 different stocks in 4 different sectors, right? You're gonna miss one of them. You're gonna rush into another. So you can be developing your game plan tonight. You know what you like to trade. Just focus on it. Do your research tonight. Check the sentiment. See what everybody's saying about it. You just go from there. That's it. That's how I trade. I'm not I don't use gap scanners and stuff like that. But it works for me, and it works for some of you. So, everybody's strategy is going to be different. You just have to, especially now in this market, pick something that works for you. But remember, at the end of the day, it's about minimizing your risk and increasing your reward.
Let me see. All right. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, guys. Yeah, Jason and I, the Wolf and I, are very, very different. Have very, very different styles when it comes to trading. When teaching members, you guys know the different styles that he and I both implement. But I love it when our ideas or come to the same, when we kind of our trade ideas align. Like if I'm looking at Tesla, he's looking at NIO. If I'm looking at the SPY, he's looking at Apple, or it's like it's always this, or I'm looking at the SPY, he's looking at like US Steel, like stuff like that. It's always, there's always something that's aligned. It's like I'm looking at, United Airlines, he's looking at American. It's just there's always something there when our styles align and those trade ideas develop. Two completely different styles, but when you come to the same conclusion on two different styles, it's kind of gives you the confidence boost that you need.
Yeah, it lines up, and that's a good point. So, like, I think Mike was looking at SPY puts at some point last week, and I wasn't looking at SPY puts, and I wasn't going to try and pick a better SPY put than him, because I'm just not gonna try. What I said was, I was like, okay, look, if Mike's going SPY puts everybody, then we already know which companies are tethered to the SPY and are going to react, and they're going to react a little bit slower, so it'll give us an opportunity to get in. It'll also be a good indicator for us, if we're long on those, to peel back some of that profit. So understanding, like, I understand, like, I get excited when Mike makes a SPY call or a put, because I'm like, okay, I can follow that trade, but I can also piggyback and eat off of that trade's plate.
Yeah. That's what a lot of members do too, guys. A lot of members will do something very similar to that. If I'm looking at a specific directional move in over a market, and like I think I'm pretty good at not over trading the markets. Like a lot of people will over trade the SPY options, like that kind of stuff. Like Thursday and Friday could not have been a worse time for you to try to trade SPY options on Thursday or Friday, because the markets just went like this literally for 48 hours. It was just really nothing going on. But when I attack the SPY for a directional move, it's usually when the markets are making that clear, concise, definitive price movement where you're getting real direction and not choppiness where the market's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Where I'm getting follow through in the direction that I'm looking for. And when that happens, sometimes when I'm going after something like that, I'm expecting an overall market movement, either to the downside or upside. The Wolf and also a lot of other members will use that to go after stocks that are very heavily tethered and very heavily correlated to these moves. It's like if the overall markets go up or down, you're going to have specific stocks that are going to be more tied to those moves than others. Like cult stocks like Beyond Meat, Tesla, those stocks kind of have a mind of their own. They can do their own thing. The markets could be down big, but Tesla can still be up. Markets could be up big, Beyond Meat could be down. It's like those stocks kind of do their own thing. But you have other stocks that are very heavily tied to overall markets, and you can place those trades, off of those trade ideas. And that's just kind of what we're talking about a little bit with the correlation between some of the different trades that we do use. Let's see now. Futures are pulling in a little bit, Jay. We're down now. We're now down 0.3%. Futures are pulling in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like I always say, around this time, everybody's just trading between themselves. It really matters at 9:30 when, Asia starts waking up.
Yeah.
And then after 11, I mean, guys, for the most part, when I'm looking at futures, like, I'll watch it now to just kind of get a sense of, like, a more gauging sentiment. Between 9:30 and midnight, I'm periodically checking in just to kind of see what's going overall. But I'll wake up in the middle of the night and see what's going on at like 2 a.m. And really, I don't put too much stock in futures before midnight. And, I have very particular areas where I want to see the VIX. But also keep in mind this, guys. I think we're now at 9 out of 10 Mondays on the SPY have been green. So let that be your guide. We make a lot of V-shaped recoveries on Monday.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple more. Maybe we'll take like one more question or so, guys. And then we're going to kind of start to dive in. Let's see. I'm going to take one more question. What? God, no. Joshua K says, are you guys implying that you move the markets? God, no. God, no. No.
Smoke made a joke that that Roku only moves if I say it.
Oh, okay. See, I'm getting caught up on the comments, and I missed the jokes. Let me see here, guys. Let's see here. See if I can get a good one. Oh, here's a guy. Ricky Jennings says, Mike, can you touch on EMA versus SMA and why? Thanks. Yeah, so SMA stands for simple moving average, and EMA stands for exponential moving average. They are two moving averages, but they are calculated completely different. The moving averages that I use and the situations that I use them on, simple moving averages I only use for longer time frames. Okay, longer time frame moving averages like the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day. Those are the simple moving averages that I use on a longer time frame. Let's show you guys my daily chart. Okay, so here's my daily chart. This blue line on my screen is the 50-day moving average, simple moving average. This yellow line is the 200-day simple moving average, and this purple line is the 100-day simple moving average. Okay, so I only use simple moving averages on daily and weekly charts. Okay, daily and weekly charts. That is when I use simple moving averages on longer time frames. Okay, now exponential moving averages, I use that intraday. Okay, intraday is where I use the exponential moving average, and I will use it on. Let me see. What was the trade that I just made on Friday, Jason? What was the ticker symbol? I totally forgot.
I have no idea. I only traded Disney. I was making my pot stock webinar.
RMBL. What was the one? What was the stock I traded Friday morning? To open my account. Any memories in TTG? Remember what the hell I traded on Friday? Let's check. VRNA. That was it. VRNA. Yes, VRNA. We crushed VRNA. How could I forget? Okay, VRNA. So the exponential moving average, though, EMA. Okay, Ricky, I use intraday. And the exponential moving average that I use is the 9 exponential moving average. It's also commonly referred to as the trade line. Some people also call it the golden line. Okay. The trade line can either be the 8, the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12 exponential moving average. Okay, I use this intraday. Okay, this teal line you see on my screen, this teal line, this is the 9 EMA, or what I refer to as the trade line. Okay, this is a trade that I made on Friday. If you guys missed my video that I posted on Friday, my trade recap on Friday, go back, check it out. It was a good one. We bought VRNA right here and sold it up into this move. So we bought the stock at $9.63. Okay, we bought the stock at $9.63. We sold it up there like $12.50 or something like that. Okay, we sold it up over 12. So this was the move that I caught on Friday. And it was all thanks to the 9 exponential moving average, or what I call the trade line. This specific setup is a very specific setup known as the trade line VWAP crossover. If you missed my video on Friday when we are done with this live stream, go make sure you check out that video from Friday. It's called it said trade line VWAP crossover pattern for the win. That was my video from Friday. Go back, check it out. I recap this trade for you. I show you the exact setup, what made me pull the trigger. And Ricky, I show you exactly how to use the 9 exponential moving average. Okay, because the trade line VWAP crossover setup is my second favorite chart setup for day trading. My first favorite is a TTG triangle. That's the highest probability setup that you can possibly ever find, provides you with the best risk reward and the highest probability of success. Now, it's not going to work 100% of the time. No pattern works 100% of the time. Not the TTG triangle, not the trade line VWAP crossover. No other setup works 100% of the time. But probability of success is extremely high. It's definitely up into the 70s, which is a very high probability of success for any particular chart pattern. Okay, those are the setups that you want to be able to put yourself in. So using the 9 exponential moving average intraday, I don't use simple moving averages intraday. I do not use the 50, 100, 200-day simple moving averages intraday. Those moving averages should be reserved for longer time frames, daily, weekly charts. Intraday, that's what I'm using, the 9 EMA. Okay, and I walk you guys through how to use this moving average in that video. This brings me to what I wanted to tell you guys about with what I'm doing on Wednesday. Okay, this brings me into what I wanted to do, that I want to tell you guys about what I'm doing on Wednesday, because this is most likely going to be one of the topics that I'm going to discuss on Wednesday. So guys, on this Wednesday, July 22nd, from 5 p.m. Eastern till 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be hosting a small private trading mentor study group. Okay, I'm going to be hosting a private mentor study group on Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. Anybody that signs up to the True Trading, it's for members only, but anybody that signs up tonight will have a seat reserved for that Wednesday mentor study session. Okay. One of the topics that I'm going to be discussing during this mentor study session is the trade line VWAP crossover pattern. Okay, I'm going to walk you guys through how you identify it. What's the checklist that you want to be able to see when you guys are going through this pattern? Where do you get long? Where do you set your stop loss? How to use this pattern to go long or go short, and how to get confirmation that this pattern is indeed in effect, and you can increase your position size, add to your position, and catch that follow through move. So this will be one of the this will be one of the topics I'm going to discuss on this private mentor study group that I'm hosting on Wednesday from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Anybody that signs up by midnight tonight or by midnight Pacific time, so we have till 3 a.m. Eastern time to sign up to the TGD family tonight to reserve your spot in that private mentor study group. You guys can use the coupon code TTG720. That will get you a 36% discount on a 1-year membership to True Trading Group, and it will reserve your seat in the private study mentor session that I'm going to be hosting this Wednesday, July 22nd, from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. With that membership, again, coupon code TTG720. With that coupon code, It's going to get you 36% off. Our membership to TTG is usually about $1,800 for the year. That coupon code is going to be just over $1,100 for the year. So that's a 36% discount, guaranteed spot on that private mentor study session. But also, you guys get the entire TTG curriculum for free, included in your membership. You guys heard a lot of people earlier on the live stream that were talking about being TTG certified. That means that they went through the entire course curriculum, completed all of the exams at the end of those courses, and became TTG certified by scoring an 85% or higher on every single exam that is in the courses. Okay, so you guys will get access to our beginner and foundation stock trading course, our advanced stock trading course, intro to options trading, advanced options trading, trader psychology part 1 and part 2, how to thrive during the stock market crash. You guys get access to all of those courses included for free with your membership. There's no upsells ever. All of that is included. At the end of every single one of those courses is an exam. Score 85 or higher on the exam, you earn a badge for that course. Earn every badge for every course. That's how you become TTG certified. You guys get a certificate. You can print it out, hang it on your wall, put it on your desk, share it on social media. You also get a green check mark in chat, which lets other members know that you have completed all of the courses, that you now know what you're talking about. When you complete the courses in True Trading Group, you are getting the same information and education that I received working at a hedge fund. Okay. For those of you, I asked you guys earlier in the live stream, we have a lot of new faces here today. Okay. A lot of new viewers. You may not be familiar with who I am or how I started my trading career. Right out of college, my very first job, I was working for a long short equity options, a neutral position hedge fund in New York City. We managed about $500 million. That was my very first job out of college. Before they let me trade a dollar of their money, I had to sit through a 3-month educational program and pass that educational program. I have taken that education, simplified the material, and I wrote and created all of the courses that are available and that make up the TTG curriculum today. So when you become TTG certified, you have now received the same education that I did working at a hedge fund in New York City. It's a professional education. There's no gimmicks. There's no special little secret. Okay, it is a professional, true education. Same stuff that I learned at a hedge fund that allowed me to become the youngest junior portfolio manager at the fund and also allowed me to earn a Trader of the Year award in 2008. Okay, that is what you guys get access to by using the coupon code TTG720. I'm going to also be covering a lot of those lessons that are in the courses, a lot of the information that I received working at the hedge fund. I'm going to be covering a lot of those topics in this private study mentor group that I'm going to be hosting on Wednesday from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern time. And everyone that signs up by midnight tonight Pacific time, that's 3 a.m. Eastern time, sign up tonight with that coupon code TTG720. You get all the courses included for free. You also get a guaranteed spot in the mentor study group. In addition to all of that, you guys get all of our resources, our trade simulator with real-time level 1 and real-time level 2 quotes, so you can trade with fake money while you go through honing your skills and implement what you learn in the courses, implement it in your trading with fake money. You guys can use our stock screener, which is important. I just talked to you guys earlier in this live stream about how to go about scanning and screening for the best stocks to trade on the day. You guys get access to that. You get access to our premium blog, which is updated daily with trade ideas, trade recaps, general market commentary, other educational info. Our 24/7 trader forum for TTG members, where members can interact and can converse about different topics. It's just like Reddit. Okay, it's basically like Reddit, but it's a TTG forum where members can converse and talk to one another 24/7 on our TTG forum. Okay, you guys get access to our mobile app that's available for iPhone and Android. So if you guys are at work, you're in a meeting, you're on the golf course, you're in the grocery store, whatever it is that you're doing, you can have the chat room open on your cell phone or on your tablet, see the screen share, hear the mic, hear the audio analysis on the microphone, but also get real-time push notifications on your app so you can follow along with what it is that we're trading, even though you're not able to be sitting in front of your computer screen. I know and understand that most people have other responsibilities during the day that do not allow them to sit in front of a computer screen all day long like I do. That's why the mobile app is so important and is one of the reasons why we spent the money to develop and create this mobile app, so that it makes trading on the go seamless and easy for all of our members. Okay, all of this is included in your membership, guys. There are no upsells ever. You also get access to all of our Trader Palooza virtual workshops. Okay, we host Trader Palooza events where myself and the other moderators spend time going through different topics, covering different areas of trading. And as a member, you can log into the workshop and log out based on the schedule and the itinerary. So if you want to come to the Wolf's workshop on options, you can tune into that. And then you can leave and come back, 3 hours later for my workshop on the trade line view up crossover. Okay. So all of that is included with your membership, guys, for about the same amount as it costs you for a cup of coffee a day. Again, use that coupon code TTG720 and reserve your spot for the private study mentor session that I'm hosting on Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m. That is only for people that sign up by 3 a.m. Eastern tonight. Okay. The study group is going to be on Wednesday, but you get your spot guaranteed if you sign up tonight before 3 a.m. Eastern time. All right. All right, guys. So now, let's see. Did I miss any questions? Oh, nice. Julio Jaramillo says, I signed up last Thursday, guys, and I hate myself for not signing up earlier. TTG is worth every penny. So I'm just trying to get caught up, guys. See if Tony Williams says, guys, the courses are super informative. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, good, guys. All right. So now, like I said, now what I want to do now is I want to start to get into some of the information that we had talked about. What I want to do now is I want to start to talk about like what we were referring to earlier in the live stream about, what is the outlook coming into this week and what is the trading, what's the plan? Where do we see opportunities in the market? And given where we are sitting right now with futures, we're down again 0.3%. We got a quick little drop. We're kind of stalling out a little bit. So we'll see what happens here with the rest of the futures market. Let's see. And I want to go out to the SPY on the daily chart and let's talk about, some levels here. We have a major resistance level, guys, right above 323. Guys, we have a major level here right above 323. Okay. We have seen here that on that rally back, our first rally back from off the March low, we found resistance there just above 323. We then came up here and tested that level again in mid-July. Okay, resistance. We then had the gap up day, resistance, and then yesterday we are still sitting at this resistance level. This is a major area of resistance for the overall markets. If we get above that, you have this gap that I want you all to keep a very close watchful eye on. This gap down is what started the coronavirus sell-off. Okay, this gap down is what started the coronavirus sell-off. Okay, so if we get up into this gap, I think it's going to be damn hard for the market to get up into that gap. I mean, damn hard to get up into that gap. So this is a level that I think you all really need to be paying very close attention to. We have not shied away from this level. Okay, I didn't mean to delete that line. Let me draw that back. Draw that line back. There's the level, right? Okay, there's your resistance. What I want you to notice is the first time that we got up to test this resistance level, look what happened. You see that aggressive sell-off away from this level? Now we've rallied back to test this level again, but look at how we are holding higher. Look at how the markets are no longer afraid of this level. Look at how support has been stepping up. Okay, support is stepping up. You had this new like higher low. You can almost call this you can almost look at this, guys, like a double bottom. Okay, here's your double bottom, and here's your higher low. Okay, this was a key area of support for the markets last week. Markets were very, very choppy last week. We were in a very, very tight range, but we held above that 310, 311 area on the SPY for a while. For a while, if you're talking about for an entire week, we sat above that level. That tells me that support is stepping up closer to this resistance level. The resistance level has not moved. Okay, you guys can see the resistance level from June is the same resistance level now. Okay, the resistance level has not come down. The resistance level is intact, but your support levels are moving higher. Do you guys see this? Do you see how the buying went from here to here, now to here? The selling pressure has stayed in the exact same spot. See how the selling pressure is in the exact same spot, but we're making higher lows? That is showing me that buyers are moving higher with the markets, but sellers are not moving down. This is a major area of resistance on the SPY that I think everybody for the last 2 weeks has been waiting for to see how this level reacts with earnings. This week is going to be our first week of big major earnings announcements, okay? Where you're going to have a whole, like in the next 2 weeks, I think it's like 75% of the S&P reports earnings. It's like crazy, okay? So the next 2 weeks are going to be huge. And is that enough to break us through this resistance level? If Q2 earnings is not enough to break through this resistance level, I think the path of less resistance, or when I say resistance, I don't mean resistance on a chart. The path of least resistance, the easiest way of motion, I think at that point would be to the downside, because if that level is not broken with earnings, I don't know what else is going to break it aside from like a phase 3, success on a vaccine. I'm talking like a true vaccine. I think maybe then can break us up into that gap. But if this level is not broken on earnings, I don't think we have a strong enough fundamental catalyst in the next, like what Jason was talking about, what the Wolf was talking about earlier, was in the next 45 days, I don't think we have a strong enough fundamental catalyst. If it's not earnings that takes us through this resistance, I don't know what will, other than a successful vaccine, but we're not going to have that in the next 40 days. We're not going to have that in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, you may get updates on phase 1, phase 2, on some of these other clinical trials, okay, as Big Pharma is just plowing through some of these trials. I mean, this is record-breaking speed for a drug treatment and a vaccine, okay? Mind-blowing speed. It usually takes 3 to 5 years to develop and pass a phase 3 clinical trial for FDA approval, and these companies are doing it in months. It's insane, okay? So, but even with that, we're not going to get anything concrete until the earliest, you're talking probably November. And that's being super optimistic. So if Q2 earnings is not enough to break us through, what is it going to be? What is it going to be that's going to take us higher? That's going to take us through this resistance level. So this is where you really have to start to pay attention to. So I wanted to point this out to you guys. I wanted to break down this chart. I wanted to show you this technical analysis. Does anybody have any questions about what I just showed you regarding the SPY? Anybody have any questions about what I'm talking about with the SPY? Will another stimulus take us higher? I don't think so. I mean, what takes it higher, I think, is everyone expects another round of stimulus, but what are the details? Like, if the stimulus is only for people that make, less than $50,000 a year, or people that make less than $40,000 a year, if that's the only people that are going to get stimulus, then I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. You're still going to have all the small businesses. You're still going to have, people then that are making over 40 or over $50,000 a year that are not going to get any stimulus checks or any help. And it's really the middle class spending is really what makes up the big chunk of the economy. And if that middle class doesn't feel confident in their financial situation and they're not going to start to spend, obviously your GDP growth is going to slow down. So I don't think that you'll see that big rush of economic activity and spending from that middle class if they're kind of left out of the next round of stimulus. So what I'm thinking is that another round of stimulus, yeah, could it help the markets? Yes, I think it's expected that there will be another round of stimulus. I just think it's going to be, well, how big of a stimulus are we talking, and who's going to get it? I think is really what could determine that. But I think it's really going to be maybe based on earnings and to see what happens here, because Q2 earnings are expected to be kind of a flop. But if earnings come out and they're not as bad as people think they're going to be, I mean, listen, they're going to be bad regardless. Okay, except for select companies like Amazon and the Targets of the world, and companies that do Zoom video, like companies that do well, Peloton, that have been doing well during coronavirus. Their valuations may come back down to earth, but their earnings will still do well. It's the companies that everyone expects to do so poorly and so terribly. If they don't do as bad as they initially thought, if they weather this storm better than anticipated, yeah, that could take you up into that gap. And if that takes you up into that gap with stimulus as kind of an extra tailwind, I think you could see the markets push up into that gap. And then when you do finally get a vaccine in November, December, whatever it is, that could be what takes you to new all-time highs. As crazy as that sounds, that is where we're at. And that is really what I think. So does anybody have any questions about the SPY and about what I was just talking about? Now we're trading a little lower now. Now we're down 0.4, almost down 0.5% on futures.
Yeah, I'm more bearish than you, by the way it sounds. For sure.
I think it's definitely possible that we could see new all-time highs with the vaccine.
Oh yeah, with the vaccine, but also that's going to be a long ways away. Guys, you also have to look at it like this. You have, all right now we have people that are fighting tooth and nail to not wear a mask. Okay. If those people aren't going to wear a mask, what makes you think that they're going to get a vaccine? And if they're not taking the vaccine, then we're going right back to square one.
That's not necessarily true though, because a lot of people don't get a flu shot, and that's a vaccine.
Yeah, it's a little bit different right now, but that's neither here nor there. Let's assume that everybody is going to get a vaccine. Okay, I'll take that stance. Right? We're still going to see, and what we were talking about earlier was fundamental changes to these companies in the long run. Every rally that we've had has been, for the most part, a Fed rally. Now we're getting these little vaccine rallies, but I remember, and Mike, I don't know if you remember this, there was a drug that came out, it was for obesity. And it flew through FDA, and everybody was like looking at this as like, oh, this great weight loss drug. It was called Fen-Phen Redux. You guys remember Fen-Phen Redux?
I don't.
So fen-phen redux was like this miracle drug. People were losing weight, feeling great, and then people started having heart attacks and just dying, and then it got pulled. We've never gone through drug trials at this speed, and the reason we don't go at this speed is because sometimes it takes time to flush out some of the bad things that could happen.
Right.
So it's going to be a risk reward thing. But even with that said, so look, there's still going to be people that are really on the fence about taking the first vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I know, 100% because I know I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I'm not looking at taking the first. I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like getting into a new stock, like a stock that IPOs. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to wait till all those shares unlock, right? Because then we can see the true value. Well, I want to see that this thing is actually working and not killing people, because who knows? But even with all of that, everything's changed. You had, what was it, British Airways on Thursday or Friday came out and said they don't see air travel getting back to 2019 levels until 2023. And everybody's, look at the volume in some of these airline stocks. And, I was having this conversation with somebody today, and I was just saying, look, it's mostly people just trading it, Like right now it's like a trader's market. In June, we got back to the 320 level, and that was just too soon. And the market's like, it's too soon. I think right now we are here at this point, and because we could pop over that level with some less than disastrous earnings. But I also look at it as if I'm an investor or a trader, that maybe I'm going to be selling into this little rally, because I know that what are our catalysts going into the rest of the summer. And as somebody that kind of looks at a long-term picture, I know that we're going to have forbearance, where people got to defer some of those mortgage payments. That's going to expire. The stimulus is going to expire. We got a bunch of things that are going to trigger. And on top of that, we've got COVID numbers that are actually worse than March.
Way worse.
And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, what's the catalyst? And then what happens? Last earnings, Amazon, everybody thought it was going to fly and it pulled back. What happens if Amazon pulls back? What happens if Tesla pulls back? Then what does that do? And then we're going to see a bunch of consumer companies go. I think Chipotle is going to have great earnings.
There's been a lot of profit taking in Amazon in the last week. The volume's heavier on Amazon to the downside over the past week.
Right, and this is something that usually going into earnings is ripping. So we have to look at the breadcrumbs that the market is giving us. And, this might be one of those weeks where we could inject logic back into the trade. Because, for the last couple of months, logic's just been completely out the window. The SPY is trading, if back in January we were trading at this PE on the SPY would have been over like 375 or something nuts. Right now we're trading at a 22, 23, and we've got insane unemployment. JP Morgan says that the fourth quarter they expect, minus 6% GDP. They expect 10.5% unemployment. A lot of these jobs aren't coming back. And that is going to trickle down into everything. The stimulus is great right now because, yes, people are paying for some of the stuff that they need, but they're also buying a bunch of stuff that they don't. They're getting flat screens. They're getting, they're injecting money into the market. And the government knows that when they lend out this money. People aren't going to hold on to it, save it for a rainy day. So I think, we could go to 325 on the spot.
We just broke below 3,200 on the futures.
But I think that there's if you put a gun to my head and you said, all right, where's the next $25 going? Are we going up or are we going down? I'm going to pick down because I see a lot more risk with everything. Also, you have to, at some point, the market is going to be factoring in politics, And, we just got poll numbers tonight, that have Trump way behind. And even if you don't like Biden or you really like Trump, it doesn't matter. Perception dictates price in the market. And you have to account for what if scenarios. So let's do a what if scenario. Say Biden wins. Chop 10% off of every company. Right off the bat. Drop everything 10%. That's putting Apple, drop them $40. They're at $3.40.
Yeah, because the corporate tax rate will go up. That's going to eat right into earnings.
Exactly. And so you've got that. You've got coronavirus. You've got possibility of trade wars. You've got, what I think is going to happen is a reassessment of true value. And at some point, people are going to take their profit. They still believe in these things, but because they've made so much profit. Guys, look at some of the stuff that we purchased back in March. Square at $40. It's $120. What was Amazon? Amazon was $2,000. What did it go under? $2,000? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it went to $1,700.
Yeah, Tesla $400. You don't think people are going to take some money off the table as a hedge? Right now I think the rotation is, I think that they bleed out stock into the market. And why they can do that is because we've pumped trillions of dollars into the market by new retail investors, where you see hedge funds, institutions have been pulling money out of the market. That's why when we've got bad news, the decline in the market is rapid, and it just cuts through supports like a knife. So I don't see, I'm not looking at any earnings that are coming out that are going to be game changers. I think what you're going to see is people dialing it back. And you can't listen to analysts, You can't listen to, price targets. Goldman Sachs just upgraded, Tesla 8 days ago. To 2,300. What happened? It dropped $200. So for me, look, one way or another, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to Mike. And I think for the members in TTG, I don't really think it much matters to them, because at the end of the day, we're trading the setups and trading what the market is going to give us, which is important. So I feel like I'm insulated. I hope you guys are insulated. But where I think you really make money is if you're right. you know? And look, I'm probably going to make some trades against the market. And look, I very well could be wrong, but, you know, I feel comfortable in understanding that, you know, we right now is such a critical point. And even if we can break 325, I think that, you know, I welcome it, honestly. You know, I would love to see small caps or IWM go over 150 again. I would love that. That would be great, because I know that I'm just going to end up buying long-term puts and sitting on it. And look, I know Mike has, you guys know I have. I've been looking to take a big position short against an index. And this might just be the right time. Because, you know, I don't see anything that could happen this week or the next that is going to convince me that there are real flaws in the market. You know, like right now looks, you know, the only thing that it's matching up with historically, especially because, you know, we're so tech heavy, is the bubble in 2000. It's like a mirror image. So, yeah, I'm a little bit more bearish.
Let me see. Futures. Yeah, we're down 0.4%. So yeah, we're down just a little bit. Mike, if the market goes way up again, will you sell some of your long-term stock to buy it up again lower? Probably not, Nick. No. I have a bundle of cash that if the markets do sell off aggressively again, that I'll be a buyer. My next long-term ad is if the market gets anywhere near if the SPY gets anywhere near 270, that's where I'm going to go that's where I'm a buyer again. Anywhere in this region. Okay, that is where I would be a buyer again in my long-term portfolio. Here's my thought process, guys. Now I'm going to give you my thesis now. What I have seen out of the Federal Reserve is so unprecedented that I don't think many of you watching this live stream really understand the extent of what the Federal Reserve has done and continues to do. I was there in 2008. I was on Wall Street. I was working for a hedge fund when we had the global financial crisis. And I saw what the Federal Reserve did then. They were late. They didn't act fast enough. They waited for disaster before they acted instead of trying to prevent disaster. And when they acted slow and small. What the Federal Reserve has done throughout the coronavirus, they acted fast and beyond comprehensible large. What the Federal Reserve has provided enough stimulus for 10 2008s. The TARP program, you guys remember the TARP program that Congress passed? Well, many of you may not if you guys weren't in the markets back then. The TARP program was the bailout for the banks that Congress passed and everything. The TARP program was, I believe, if I remember correctly, $800 billion. Okay, if I remember correctly, I think it was $800 billion was the TARP program. Guys, the Federal Reserve has already, and Congress together, have already injected several trillions of dollars into this economy and into this market. You're talking about the TARP program, which saved the world, literally the world, because we were 48 hours away from you going to your bank going to the ATM machine and the ATM machine saying, sorry, we don't have your money. We were 48 hours away from that in 2008. I'm not exaggerating. The global financial system was on the brink of complete, utter collapse in 2008. And that we prevented that with an $800 billion bailout. The amount of stimulus that the Federal Reserve and Congress has injected into this economy is in the multiple trillions. The Federal Reserve acted so fast. And when they acted fast, it was not, oh, well, let's just kind of slow roll it. They came out bazookas, nuclear bombs, atomic bombs, space lasers, you name it. They came out firing on all cylinders with massive stimulus, quantitative easing, monetary policy that nobody has ever seen before. Every single time Fed Chairman Powell has spoken, it has been with complete confidence that they will remain supporting this economy as much as they need to, that they have nowhere near reached a maximum level of concern, meaning they have not yet ran out of ammo, nor are they anywhere near running out of ammo. That federal stimulus is not going to stop, certainly not during an election year. What I think is going to happen, the Federal Reserve and Congress is going to provide a safety net until there's a vaccine. The Fed is going to keep on pumping. Congress is going to keep on pumping. The Fed is going to keep on easing, quantitative easing, until there's a vaccine. That stimulus and that quantitative easing, I think, can hold markets up long enough for there to be a vaccine. Once there's a vaccine, the market goes to all-time highs. I think between 2021 to 2022, the market sees new all-time highs. Then reality sets in. The Federal Reserve is doing things that need to be done now, but all they're really doing is putting a Band-Aid over a wound that requires stitches. It may solve the problem right now, but if you eventually, that Band-Aid is going to give, the blood's going to keep on bleeding, and you're going to require something more, which is going to be stitches. Do you guys remember what happened in December of 2018? Let me refresh your memory. Let's zoom out on my chart. Let's zoom into December 2018. That was December of 2018. Let me explain what happened in December of 2018. The Federal Reserve came out, Fed Chairman Powell said, we're going to start raising interest rates. That's what happened in December of 2018. Look at the market's reaction in December of 2018 to a brief whiff of rising interest rates. Now, mind you, where the economy was in 2018, roaring, pre-coronavirus, 3.6% unemployment, record wage growth, record 401k values. This is pre-COVID. Look what the market did as soon as the Fed Chairman Powell said, we're going to start raising interest rates. The market crashed so quickly, so violently, that in January, he had to walk back all his statements and say, my bad. I was only kidding. We're not going to raise rates that quickly. We're going to stay near zero for the foreseeable future. We're going to keep these rates really low. And then the market experienced one of the greatest market rallies in any one given year, 2019. So we went from all hell breaking loose in December when we're going to start to raise interest rates to all of a sudden, no, we're not going to raise interest rates. And we had this massive bull rally in in 2019. Then you have coronavirus hits. Boom, massive sell-off. Federal Reserve steps in, massive stimulus. All of this stimulus, though, does something. It adds to the money supply. The money supply is literally just that. How much money is in circulation in the economy? They have added to that money supply. What happens when you add to the money supply? Prices start to go up because more people can afford things. It's supply and demand. Okay, it's supply and demand. As the money supply increases, demand for products and goods and services goes up. But the supply of those products and services does not go up in correlation with demand. That's when prices start to rise. That is the definition of inflation. The Federal Reserve's target inflation rate is 2%. With the stimulus that they have provided to the economy, there is a very, very, very good chance that that sparks inflation, not right now, not next week, not next month, not even this year, but maybe in 2022. If that inflation rate gets over 2% and you start seeing inflation run at 2.1, 2.2, 2.3%, the Federal Reserve will have no choice but to raise interest rates to cap inflation. You saw what happened the last time the Federal Reserve had to raise interest rates. Now, they did that on the back of an extremely strong fundamental economy, an economy pre-COVID, an economy during the expansion, an economy where unemployment was at 3.6%. That's what the market did when we were going to raise interest rates with a fundamentally strong underlying economy. Now, you have an artificial economy being propped up by Federal Reserve stimulus, Congress stimulus, monetary policy, quantitative easing, fiscal policy is propping up asset values in the United States and around the world. So the fundamental underlyings of the economy is not as strong as it was in 2018. It's far weaker. Now when the Federal Reserve goes to raise interest rates, what do you think the market's reaction is going to be? If the market's reaction in December of 2018 with a fundamentally strong economy was that, what do you think the market's reaction is going to be this time around? Compare the state of the economy now to the economy in 2018. It's night and day. You can't even compare the two. That's why I think that we have a very good chance of seeing new all-time highs in 2021. Because I think the Federal Reserve is going to provide enough stimulus to hold things together until there's a vaccine. And the vaccine news will push us to all-time highs. But then, as soon as the coronavirus is in the rear view mirror, as soon as everybody forgets about coronavirus, we're at all-time highs, everybody goes back to that state of euphoria. That state of euphoria that we experienced in January and February of 2020. We were in a state of euphoria. Markets were at all-time highs, but coronavirus was running rampant in China. And the markets just ignored it as if it couldn't come here. The markets made new all-time highs every week in January and February. Meantime, China was shutting down their entire economy. That made no sense whatsoever. That was a state of euphoria. Then the bottom dropped out. I think that we'll make all-time highs. We're going to get to another state of euphoria because everyone forgets about coronavirus, that's no longer an issue. And then a new problem arises as inflation starts to rise. The Fed has to raise interest rates. And this time, they don't have the luxury of saying, okay, never mind. We're not going to raise rates because this time inflation's going to be running high. And you don't have a choice when inflation's running high. In December 2018, inflation was below their target mark still. They didn't have to raise interest rates. They wanted to because the economy was in such great shape. They've been at near zero for 10 years since 2008. It was like, okay, guys, it's been 10 years. We're going to start to raise interest rates. The economy is strong enough to handle the rise. Now the economy is not strong enough to handle the rise, but they may not have a choice if inflation starts to push higher than 2%. And that is when I think we see our next big market crash. So now you have two completely different perspectives between the wolf and myself. You guys decide which one that you think is the more likely scenario. And it's not a matter of which one's more likely than the other. It's cause and effect. What is the series of events that will lead up to my theory being correct or Jason's theory being correct? You have to figure out, Jason said, follow the breadcrumbs. You need to understand what are the series of events that would lead up to either one of these theories being correct. That's what being a trader is all about. Being a trader is not about being right or wrong. I could be right, Jason could be right. Whichever one is wrong, does that mean the other one is a worse trader than the other? No. Because the Federal Reserve can next week be like, okay, guys, you know what? We're out of ammo. We're done. And Jason will be correct. You have to have a plan of action based on market environments and a general knowledge of how global macroeconomics work so that you can position yourself to profit from price movement. That's why Jason said to you before that it doesn't matter to him or me if the markets go up or down. It doesn't matter to TTG members if markets go up or down, because we have a game plan to profit whether markets go up or down. And we will follow the breadcrumbs to say, okay, based on XYZ, we think that this is the next logical thing that is going to take place. And we can then say, okay, I'm bullish on the overall markets or I'm bearish on the overall markets. And then you can look for opportunities to capitalize on those trade ideas. That is what being a good trader is all about. It's being neutral. Long-term investors, they're not neutral. They position themselves for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 years down the road. Being an active trader is about being neutral, being unbiased, having a plan of action based on the information that you have in front of you. Because I can guarantee you this, whether I'm right or Jason's right, that means one of us is wrong, but I guarantee you both of us make money on it. That's what being an active trader is all about. That's what having a professional education is all about. Not just sitting here being a puppet and saying, oh, well, I'm just going to buy this or I'm just going to short this. Because if you've said to yourself this entire time, oh my God, coronavirus cases are spiking, I'm going to buy put options. How many of you right now are guilty of, oh my God, coronavirus cases are spiking, I'm buying puts? And you've been doing that for the last month and a half. How many of you are guilty of doing that and you've gotten run over? How much money have you lost in the last month and a half buying SPY put options? I guarantee you it's many of you. I guarantee you it's many of you. You have to be nimble in a market where volatility is high, okay? And the last 2 weeks, volatility was very, very low. But volatility, I think, is going to pick back up again. And in markets where volatility is high, you have to be nimble. You have to be long, be able to say, today I'm long, tomorrow I'm short. You have to be nimble enough to say that. Now, multi-billion-dollar hedge funds can't do that. A hedge fund that manages $50 billion can't be long today and short tomorrow. It takes them 3 months to shift their positions because that's how big they are. You're not that big. You have the ability to buy put options today and call options tomorrow. You have the ability to go long a small cap today and go long a small cap tomorrow and say, you know what? I hate the earnings announcement on this mid cap. I'm going short. You have the ability to do that. Large hedge funds don't. This is what being an active trader is all about. So guys, I cannot stress this to you enough. Everybody has been so obsessed with, I get messages all day long. The Wolf gets messages all day long on social media. Go, guys, by the way, speaking of social media, go follow me on Twitter, please. My Twitter handle is at Mike Edward _TTG. Again, my Twitter handle is at Mike Edward _TTG. Jason's is at Wolf of Weed Street. Street is spelled ST. So again, Jason is at Wolf of Weed ST. Go give us both a follow on Twitter. We're always putting out some pretty dope stuff on Twitter. But guys, like what when it comes back to having an education to be able to identify opportunities, whether markets go up or down, whether Jason's theory is correct or mine, it all goes back to having the education to say, I'm short today, I'm long tomorrow. And I want to make sure that each and every single one of you that are on this live stream, we have a lot of new faces that are here with us today. I want to make sure that you guys are aware of the opportunity to join the family, to join the TGD family full time and trade with Jason, myself, and the rest of the TGD family all day, every day. Use coupon code TTG720 to get a 36% discount on a 1-year all-inclusive membership to 2 Trading Group that will also guarantee and reserve your spot on my next private study mentor group session, where I'm going to be covering various topics on Wednesday, July 22nd. That's this Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be hosting a private mentor study group. And anyone that signs up by midnight tonight Pacific time, that's 3 a.m. Eastern time, gets a guaranteed spot in that study group session. Spots are limited. I keep my study group sessions very small, okay? It's a very close interaction where we interact one-on-one. I'm doing it on a Zoom session where people can raise their hand, ask questions. I'm going to be sharing my screen. You can also have the opportunity to share your screen if you want to show me something, to ask a question, get to mingle and get to know other TGD members, other moderators. I want you guys to be able to lock in that spot because, like I said, spots are limited. I keep the size small. And I'm doing that study mentor group session on Wednesday. For those of you that are brand new, you sign up tonight, you will guarantee a spot in that Wednesday study mentor group session. And if you use the coupon code TTG720, you're going to get a 36% discount before our prices go up in August. I'm telling you guys all now, I told you in June. In June, I specifically said, guys, our prices are going up in July because we're adding a bunch of new features. We added real-time level 1, real-time level 2 quotes. We added a trade simulator. We added a stock screener. We added a TTG forum. Our prices went up from June to July, okay? About a little over $100 $100 for the membership. That's how much our price went up from June to July, okay? Now, I'm telling you again, our membership pricing is going up in August. In August, we are raising our prices. Why? Because we are adding a bunch of more new features, resources, and tools to the TTG website. We are constantly making the community better for our members and giving them resources and tools to improve the platform. Also, with your membership, you get instant access to all future courses and future resources. If I come out with a new course next month, if we come out with a new resource next month, it is included in your membership. There's no upcharge ever. If I come out with a new course, it's not, hey guys, brand new swing trading course, here it is. By the way, it's $300. No, it's just like Netflix. When something new comes out, it is included in your membership. Okay? And with that coupon code TTG720, you can get a 36% discount and lock in the current price because our prices go up in August. So you're not going to be able to get this same price point ever again. Our prices are going up in August. So you can lock in that price for life, but also lock in and reserve your seat in my Wednesday private study mentor group session that I'm hosting from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about what the Wolf and I were discussing about our theories, about what the market's going to do? Does anybody have any questions about True Trading Group? Does anybody have any questions about a membership? Guys, fire away. If you have questions, now is the time to ask. What time is our chat room? Our chat room opens up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern and closes at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Carmesita, what's my Twitter? My Twitter again is at Mike Edward _ TTG. Again, that is at Mike Edward _ TTG. AC, good question. So AC says, Mike, is your trading reliant on the indicators on your screen? How do you feel about naked chart reading, maybe with just VWAP, basically just reading price action? I mean, AC, the indicators that I use, okay, intraday, I use volume, Fibonacci retracement levels, VWAP, the trade line are really what I use intraday. But I'll always use them, but what do I think about people that are naked chart reading? I don't have any problem with it. Whatever works for you. If somebody had said to me, Mike, you can trade today, but you can only trade with one indicator, it would be volume. Volume makes all the difference, guys. Volume will give you the most indication of if a stock has momentum or not. So, I mean, if you want to just use VWAP and volume, AC, listen, I'll never knock anybody's trading style. I wouldn't recommend it to a brand new trader. But if you're an experienced trader and you maybe trade off of volume and candlesticks and that works for you, I'll never knock it. I don't knock anybody's style. If it works for you, it works for you. I will knock your style if I think you're doing something wrong or I think you could be doing something better and you're not profitable, then I'll knock your style. If you're not profitable, then obviously you need to change something. But if you're profitable and your style works for you, it doesn't matter if I agree with it or not. If it works for you, it works for you. Maybe it doesn't work for me, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't work for me. As long as it works for you, that's all that matters. Yes. Eric says, do you teach those indicators and how to look at them? Guys, absolutely. Okay. I teach you guys every single day in chat. I teach you guys how to use these indicators, how to use these setups. Guys, you have to understand something. And TGD members, you guys back me up on this. Comment in chat for TGD members. Guys, all day long, I am in chat live on the microphone telling you guys exactly what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, what I think's going to happen, where I'm buying, where I'm selling. I am telling you guys, okay, guys, I see this. I'll be like, okay, guys, we just broke through the initial morning high, heaviest volume of the day. Watch for a low volume pullback into that $5 area. That's your prior high. It's also the 38.2 Fibonacci level. VWAP is sitting at that area as well. Watch the trade line coming up. The trade line's working its way up. If that trade line crosses up and over VWAP, we could see a trade line VWAP crossover that can take us to our next resistance area around $6. My first take profit's going to be $5.50, then $5.75. Final take $6. I'm looking to get long in front of $5, guys. Look for a low volume pullback here to $5. I'm a buyer in front of $5. That is verbatim what I say to members in chat. The stock pulls into $5. I execute my trade. I'm long at 510. Boom, a push notification pops up in chat, says long, ABCD, 510, stop loss, 485. And I come on the microphone and go, okay, guys, I'm long here, 510, stop loss, 485 area. My first take profit's 550, 575, $6, so on and so on. That is literally how I talk to you guys in chat all day, every day. I tell you what I'm doing before I do it. Before I do it, I tell you what I'm doing. So it's very easy to follow along with my trades in chat because I tell you what I'm doing before I do it. Jason, same thing. Jason comes on the microphone and says, guys, Roku's getting a little overheated, pushing up to a major resistance level. I'm looking to buy some put options. If you guys are looking for some puts, I'm looking at 2 weeks out. If you want to be more aggressive, you can go with this strike price. It comes up. We walk you guys through the trade idea before we actually do it. And then once I'm in the trade, I walk you through what I'm doing. Okay, guys, let's say I'm long at 510. I say my first take profit's up at 575, whatever it is. Stock starts to move to higher. We're 550, 555. I come on the mic. Guys, 575 profit target's coming up. I'm taking half my position off the table in front of it. Boom, we get to 570. Bang, I drop half my position. Push notification pops up in chat. Says, took profit, 570, still holding some. I come on the mic. Guys, just sold half my position. I'm looking for my next take profit target. It's going to be in front of 6. Stock moves up to 6, 594, bang. Final take profit, 594. There it is. That's literally how my trades all go in chat with the TGD family. That's literally how it works. And like I said, TGD members, you guys, you tell me, am I wrong? Am I exaggerating? Is that not exactly what we do in chat all day, every day? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't even take it from me. Just listen to members. Just listen to the members. Listen to what members have to say about it. All right.
We take a lot of profit too on top of that.
All right, guys. Oh, God, T. Hansen, absolutely. T. Hansen says, can I effectively trade with TTG with a 5K account? T. Hansen, 5K is more than enough. We have members that start with 500. Okay? 5,000 is more than enough. You can easily trade with $500. Easily. I mean, $5,000. Easily. That is plenty to get you started. Plenty to get you started. Where's Sean? Is Sean still here? I always use Sean. He's still here. Sean Miller. I always use Sean as my example. Sean Miller. Guys, Sean, do me a favor, bud. Comment in chat for me. Guys, Sean Miller joined TTG, I think in May, if I'm not mistaken, Sean, and started with a $500 account, and within 1 month was up to $3,600.
Yeah, Smoke is on here too. Smoke, similar.
Oh yeah, Smoke.
In June.
Smoke is killing it too. Yeah, Sean Miller, Smoke. If you guys can comment, just so people know. There he is. Ayo. He goes, Ayo, yo, what's up, Sean? I see you. Sean, I always use you as my example because I'm so damn proud that you went from 500 to 3,600 in a month. I'm so damn proud of that. Smoke, you also, man. Smoke, you're doing great too, man. Awesome.
Yeah, guys, we've been crushing it. I feel like the last month has probably been the best in TTG and trading. And, I was actually talking to my father-in-law today about this because he's asking me, he's like, how's True Trading Group going? I'm like, going great. I said, honestly, I think it's making me a better trader.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely does, man, because there's just a higher level of accountability, you know?
Yeah, and also, and I told him, I go, look, it's really not about the money for me at this point. I go, it's really more about ego. And I don't want anybody talking shit saying I'm a bad trader.
Yeah, definitely. What was I just going to say? Oh, I wanted to share with you a trade idea that I have. I wanted to share with you a trade idea that I have, a setup that I'm watching that I think might trigger like tomorrow or Tuesday. So I want you guys to follow me real quick, okay? Before we end this live stream, I want to share with you guys this trade idea that I've been stalking, and it's in Tesla, okay? Tesla, if you guys, well, many of you are not TGD members, so you guys don't know this, but for my TGD fam, we destroyed Tesla put options from Monday into Tuesday. Okay. Monday, okay, I bought Tesla put options right there. Okay. Right here is where I bought Tesla put options. I held some overnight and I exited right here for a 220% gain. Okay. A 220% gain in those Tesla put options. It was the 1600 strike, July 17th expiration. I bought them at $60 a contract. I sold them at $192.25. That is 220% gain. And I don't think Tesla's done yet. I think Tesla has more downside. I think Tesla can get down to
1250.
Yeah, I think we can get down to 1250. Okay. I am stalking this setup. I want you guys to follow along with me real quick. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. Okay, I am seeing a bear flag setup that just came off of an exhaustion gap. The exhaustion gap was this day. Okay, that's the day that I got short Tesla. The whole reason why I got short Tesla that day was because of the exhaustion gap. Okay, it was an exhaustion gap pattern. It was an exhaustion gap setup. I went after it. I attacked it. We absolutely crushed that trade. But typically, after an exhaustion gap triggers, and the exhaustion gap fills, which the exhaustion gap filled right there, fills the gap. Have you noticed that we have not been able to get back above that gap close? There was the gap fill. We filled the gap, and now look. You guys see how we can't get back above? Usually when an exhaustion gap fills, you get more downside. Okay? So we have this exhaustion gap that was closed that is now acting as resistance. Tesla cannot get back above this area, and it has now formed a bear flag on the daily chart. Here's your bear flag on the daily chart. Okay? There's your flag. There's your flagpole. Okay? That red candle is your flagpole. There's your flag. I'm looking for Tesla to do that. Okay? I think Tesla breaks out of this bear flag, drops another about $150. I think this stock has at least another $150 to the downside. And I am looking for us to now go and fill another gap. If you guys notice, we have a gap right there from July 6th, and then we have another gap right there from July 2nd. These are two very big gaps that I think Tesla fills. Okay? I think Tesla fills that gap. So guys, again, I am going to be looking at Tesla puts. Okay? Or you can short the stock if you want. I'm going to go after Tesla puts. Tesla puts are extremely expensive. I'm going to check them out. I'm looking for probably maybe a 1400 or a 1450 strike. Probably at least, well, I can only go for Friday. Maybe this Friday, depends on the setup, but I think this pattern could trigger tomorrow or Tuesday. If that's the case, I'll go for Friday expiration puts, and I will hammer this thing home, probably hold them for at least, obviously, the full day, but I will probably hold maybe a contract into tomorrow, into the following day. These contracts will be very expensive. Understand, these contracts are going to cost you anywhere from $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for one contract. If you want to go short Tesla, you can short Tesla, but one share is going to cost you $1,500. Okay, so for those of you that have very small accounts, you're not going to really be able to participate in this trade, but it can still be a wonderful learning lesson and learning experience for you. For those of you that can participate in this trade, this is something that I am stalking like a hawk. I destroyed that trade on Monday to Tuesday with 220%. I think with this second leg can be even bigger, and I think it can take about 2 days for it to unfold. So I'm going to be ready to jump all over it. I wanted to share this trade idea with you guys before we go. Okay, so what you guys are going to want to do here now, make sure that you are in chat listening so that you can catch the Tesla trade if and when it happens. If this Tesla trade triggers, I'm jumping all over it. I plan on making 250 to 300% on my money if this trade actually triggers and I'm right in my analysis. So if you guys want to make sure that you are in this trade, trading it with me, the best way for you to ensure that you do not miss this trade when it happens is to join the TG family and be in chat with me all day, every day. Use the coupon code TTG720, get a 36% discount, get the entire TG curriculum included for free before our prices go up in August. Sign up before midnight Pacific time tonight. That's 3 a.m. Eastern time, and you will get a secured spot for my private study group mentor session that I'm doing on Wednesday at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? I keep those classes very small. I'm doing one this Wednesday. If you sign up tonight, you are guaranteed a spot. Seats are very limited. Okay? So again, guys, use that coupon code TTG720. Make sure you guys keep your eyes on Tesla. Get your asses in chat with me. Get ready to capitalize on this move, because if I'm right, this can be a grand slam trade if I am right. And I want to see each and every single one of you in chat with me, benefiting, profiting from this move. Okay? So, all right, guys, so that's it. That kind of concludes our live stream for this evening. I hope you guys learned something here with the Wolf and myself. I appreciate each and every single one of you. for joining me on this live stream. And again, guys, make sure to use that coupon code TTG720. Reserve your spot in that private mentor study group session and get that 36% discount before our prices go up, and get access to my entire TTG curriculum for free. The same information and education I received working at a hedge fund in New York City is all at your fingertips when you join the TTG family. That's it for tonight, guys. It's been a blast. I love doing these with you all. I will see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Let's do a quick check on the futures market before we go. And we're still down 0.4%. So markets are taking a little bit of a breather. I will see you guys in chat tomorrow, and we'll get ready to kick some ass and take some names. Wolf, say bye to everybody.
Bye to everybody.
Have a great night, everyone. It was our pleasure, as always. I'll see you guys all in chat. Later, guys.